Warning: the opinions expressed on this particular podcast are the opinions of the hosts and the guests alone. They do not represent the Army, the police, or anything else. Simply our opinions, no one else's. Thank you and enjoy before I forget.
Hey, Tyree,
Hey, what's up?
you have a podcast, right?
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's called Before I Forget. It's on every Monday and Thursday morning.
Did you know about Anchor?
Yeah, I know about Anchor. That's what we use to distribute our podcast.
Did you know that it has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer?
Yeah, I knew about all that stuff, and we use it every single time for every single show for editing, right on our phone and right from our computer.
Did you know you can distribute your podcast on different listening platforms?
Yeah, we knew about that. We use Anchor to distribute our podcast to Apple Music, Spotify, and tons of other different platforms everywhere across the world.
Did you know that Anchor is free?
I knew it was free because if I had to pay to use stuff, I wouldn't use it.
So check this shit out, man. I was listening to other pages like podcasts and shit, just to be like kind of a dick. Not really a dick, but check our shit against other people's shit.
Yeah.
We're so much better.
Oh yeah.
We're so much better. Like they're other people's conversations that they have on this fucking thing. It doesn't seem like real conversations. It seems like super staged. And I know like our frame for our show is staged for the most part, but the conversations that they have compared to what we have is just way different.
So we're better.
Fuck yeah, we're way better by far.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin, and with me is Tyree, and this is Before I Forget, the podcast. Say hi.
Sorry, I tried to jump in there. Hey.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
Tyree, and I'm still Kevin, and this is still Before I Forget, the podcast, where we get together sometimes with ourselves or with our friends, and we talk about our experiences in the Army, life pre 9/11, deployment stuff, combat stuff. But tonight, I think we're going to change it up a little bit, and to be with the times, the time of the year, we're going to talk about holidays while deployed and away from families.
Hell yeah, Christmas time.
Good old Grimatree.
Tree.
Yeah, man, that was a. Let's see. I mean, really, for me, like my first holiday over there would have been. First like family get together holiday would have been Thanksgiving in 2001.
Yeah, I guess so for you. I think I kind of ducked that one out, and I just got done with basic, and I was home on leave, so I actually got to be home for my first Christmas in the military.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty bitchin'.
Man, I can't remember if I went on that block leave. I'm sure I didn't because I wouldn't have had leave time. But let's see here. We had, because I got to Germany in October of 2001 and there was block leave that year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I was still in Germany for that one because I was able to go on leave before we went to Kosovo in 2002.
Yeah.
I don't remember Thanksgiving in 2001. I don't remember a ton of it, but I do remember, thanks to Love, actually, when I was down in Tampa seeing them, Mike, that we did Thanksgiving at his place because he was a new soldier, and we obviously didn't know anybody, and so we went over there to his place, and that would have been, I guess, the first time that I would have met his oldest daughter, Sapphire, that we talked about with him in this last show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
look how that worked out.
Yeah, so I guess she would have been like 2 or 3 years old, and then now she's an adult. Yeah, that goes.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about being away from the house the first go, your first Christmas or first Thanksgiving? My bad.
Well, I mean, even thinking about that first Christmas too, like it was different. You know what I mean? Like obviously, my family was butthurt that I couldn't be there, but understandably. But I don't know. I've never really been a holiday kind of person. I've never really been big into family gatherings. I don't. The large part of it is I just don't agree with the commercialization of those particular holidays and that in this particular season. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like all the holidays. I mean, Thanksgiving is absolutely overrun by Black Friday deals that start a week out, and then the week after with Cyber Monday, and then it's just. I mean, I have a big problem with big retail corporations trying to use these holidays. I mean, like Veterans Day sales, and 4th of July sales, and Memorial Day sales. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're telling me you don't appreciate the cheaper deals?
I mean, it's not even. Why was that so funny?
No, it's funny to me. Like, you sound pissed off about the better deal on fucking Veterans Day. Like, fucking take the deal, dude.
I mean, I'm not one of those people that goes out to like Applebee's and gets that free meal either.
Yeah, same. I don't do that either. That's fucking tacky. But I'm just saying, like, if you're at Walmart on fucking Veterans Day and they got the, or you buy some shit on Amazon, why not? I'd do it. What the fuck?
Well, I'll tell you. So, I was talking to a guy today, actually about the Black Friday deals and all that stuff. And I told him, I was like, and I did it for like just to kind of see what the differences would be. And so I went on a website and I added in a Samsung 70-inch, fucking UHD TV, 4K TV, and
the bad boy for life.
Yeah, and I also, I had one of my watches is the Garmin Fenix 5 X Pro, which is, a really expensive watch. Does all the things, though, if you're into activities and shit.
Plug for Garmin.
Plug for Garmin. And so I was like, for funsies, I'm going to put that TV in the cart. And I found that they were selling that watch. So I ordered the new one, the updated one. And so I put the 6X Pro with the sapphire lens and all that stuff on my shopping cart. And I was like, okay, let's compare the deals. Let's see how much I'm saving. $200. I would have saved $200. Now, sure, $200 is $200, but like, that's not that much of a deal. Like, people will wait for Black Friday or Cyber Monday to get these deals. That's not much of a deal when you're talking, a $700 TV and an $800 watch.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're spending the money, you're going to spend the money. There's some things that they're just not going to give you a discount on. Like, I've been obsessing over that Rodecaster Pro for the show and some new speakers, but they haven't offered any kind of discounts on those, and that's $600. And I'm gonna get it. It's fucking gonna happen because my show's gonna be the bomb. But I gotta fucking suck it up and drive on with it, I guess. Sons of bitches. I might even get a used one. I don't give a fuck. As long as it makes the show.
Yeah. But that's kind of my thing, though. It's like, I mean, the deals aren't even like that super great. And then like Black Friday, like, so like Thursday, Thanksgiving is, a family get together. Generally, it's an all day event for a lot of families. They get together, make all this food, and people are, hanging out and talking. Or you have those people who are like, oh my God, I got to go see my family. I literally, left the state to not do this, and now they're making me come back, blah, blah, blah. And, and now, now Thanksgiving is cut short because everyone's got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go stand in line to get all these like deals that aren't even great deals that you can also get just by shopping online.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Just go online and do it.
Yeah, it's just kind of insane.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't agree with all that stuff. And that's with all the holidays. I think it's just kind of ridiculous. But I get it, though. People want to make money, and what better time to have sales than when people are normally going to be off work. But is what it is. But I don't know. I've never really been like, I grew up with a split family, and so like Thanksgiving this year would be at my dad's house, and then Thanksgiving next year at my mom's house. So that was always kind of annoying too. And then Christmas, you get Christmas break.
That you had to deal with all that as a youngin'.
Yeah. Pretty much since birth. So that's what I knew holidays to be. And then Christmas break, I'd get a week. The first week would be at my dad's, and then the second week would be at my mom's, and it would change at 3:00 on Christmas Day, and then the next year, it would flip. So I would had the first week at my mom's and the second week at my dad's. I don't know. It just kind of takes all the fun out of it.
Oh yeah, it definitely would for a little bit. I think that's a rough way to go, man. My shit when I was younger, the whole family came over to the grandma's house. Everybody, people you haven't seen in a while. I mean, we're always over there anyway. Me, my mom, my cousins, aunties, all that kind of shit. Any given Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, we're over there. So the fact that it's Thanksgiving, we're going to cook a little bit big. Well, they're going to cook a lot bigger, fried turkey or something crazy. And I always had fun, man. I loved when I was younger holidays. Now, after I don't know, years of being on the street, working and out there in the RV working, I kind of don't give a shit about them so much.
Yeah, man. I mean, you think about it, dude. Like, there's 365 days in a year, right?
Yeah.
And those are every one of those days is an opportunity to be thankful for shit or to go see your family. You don't have to wait until Thanksgiving or Christmas to cook a fucking turkey, which isn't even that good anyway. Like, I'm not knocking my family's ability to cook a turkey, but it's just I've had turkey. I don't know how many years in a row, and it's never really good. And it's not just my parents when they make it, it's when anybody makes it. It's just always dry. It's just a kind of a shitty animal to eat, but you know what I mean?
Man, y'all got some bad turkeys there, because we could fry a turkey up out here, man. It'll change your life. That shit is delicious.
Yeah.
But again, that's just we have a turkey, have a duck, ham, all kind of shit. Not crazy shit, but all kind of stuff. And
I was
so
gonna
much
say,
fun,
like,
man.
that duck is crazy. Like, who has duck? I've only eaten duck once, and that was when I was in Bulgaria. Well, it was a duck heart. It wasn't
duck
duck
heart.
but
Yeah, I've had the duck heart there too.
yeah.
No, man, duck is delicious. It's nice and oily. It's got a lot of good flavors. Oh man, boy.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna have to feed you some duck at some point. Some of this duck meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not duck meat. I saw a thing. I was reading a post on Facebook about how taxidermy on bats is ethically wrong or something, and some guy commented, "I love the taste of bat, tastes like chicken and bacon all in one."
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's random.
That's way out there.
So I might try bat next year. I don't know. We'll see.
Good luck with that. You don't even tell me how it goes. I don't want to know. No, not even. Yeah. So what about Christmas? Christmas time now. Christmas time rolls around, and you're still in Germany.
Yeah, no, and so that's kind of the thing. Like, that year, I do remember like the holidays being a lot less stressful because of not having to worry about like whose house I'm going to go to, because that was the first year that ever happened to me.
Okay.
So that that year was I could do whatever I wanted. You know what I mean? If I wanted to go to McDonald's and eat a chicken sandwich across the street from Leopard Barracks, then I absolutely could do that. And I actually did do that in 2003 for Thanksgiving. 2003 for Thanksgiving, or 2002. Sorry. Yeah, 2002 for Thanksgiving. I was sitting at McDonald's on Niederwernstrasse, eating a chicken sandwich, and I was like, man. And like, Thanksgiving was a phone call, you know what I'm saying? Like, calling back home and being like, hey, sorry, miss you guys, see you on Christmas, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But because we were paying minute by minute on the phone to call internationally, like, it was a short phone call, and that was fine. I just remember that first year it being a lot less stressful. And I'm able to do it on my own terms. And, if I want to go to somebody's house, I can. If I want to go out to the bars, I can, because they don't do Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christmas is done differently in Germany too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just remember it being, not more enjoyable, because I mean, it's still cool to see my family, but it was definitely just easier than it had been the rest of my life.
Okay, I get that. Makes perfect sense. What year did we go over to Paula and Keith's for Thanksgiving? Was that 2002, 2003?
Well, um,
Because they were so excited to have Phillips, an
oh yeah,
actual person native to the land,
oh
at their
yeah.
table.
One of their daughters. One of their daughters was super. I mean, she was just a little, what, 5 or 6 maybe at the time, and
Yeah.
and she was super excited to have a real live Native American sitting
Yeah.
at her table for Thanksgiving. I think that was, that might have been 2002, 2003.
I
Might have
think
been
it was
03,
two. I think that was two
right after
because
Kosovo.
yes, I was little. I didn't know where to go for Thanksgiving, and I think Keith was like, "Hey, Paula's cooking. Y'all can come on out." And I had already hung out at their house once or twice. So I'm like, all right, they're cool folks. This works for me, and as long as they're always going to extend the welcome out to everybody else. I think it was a good amount of us that went. I got pictures from that.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of us that went. I think that was the time that Dave was there. Was Kurt there? I think he was still. Was he in Germany at that time?
Crazy Kurt? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think he was there yet.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of folks there, but that was kind of what the Goths did, right? Like they were like the adoptive family for the single soldiers stuck in Germany, in the holidays and stuff like that. Like we were always over at their house.
Always, yeah.
Yep. Which was nice, man. I mean, that definitely, because I mean, like, I get how some people will feel lonely on those holidays, and miss their families and all that stuff. So it's good to have those gatherings and bring everybody together like that. I think that was like a really big morale booster. And I know we've talked a lot about like, being together for so long and all that stuff. I think it was events like that that really did kind of help bring everybody together.
Yeah, I think so. I got to agree with that. Just laughing and hanging out with the guys away from the barracks, having a normal meal away from the DFAC,
Yep.
having something that feels like a family situation that's not in army fatigues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely right. We're over there. And that's the thing is like, starting golf at the time, I think it was an E5 when he first got there. I think by this point it was an E6. And, we're all lower enlisted soldiers, but like they're taking us all in, you know what I mean? And, and we're all over there drinking and we're having fun. And, we could go out to the bars and drink, but like it was different in that environment because, it was more of a family thing.
Yeah.
And, and I've talked to soldiers now, man, like younger soldiers, and they just don't have that. Keith even said that whenever he reclassed to 25 series Camo and got stationed down in Fort Huachuca, he tried to do the same thing with the single soldiers there, and they weren't having it. So maybe it was just a combat arms thing.
Wow. I mean, we were a bunch of young kids too at that point. The majority of us were just having our first real time away from the home for holidays, so maybe that had a little bit something to do with it.
I mean, the way he tells it, it's the same situation with some of those kids. They just would rather sit in their barracks and play video games.
Well, fuck those kids.
Oh, I know, man. But it kind of makes you wonder. I mean, video games were kind of a thing back when we were in too, but like, it's the whole work hard, play harder kind of mentality, I think. Because being infantry, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't, we went out and we trained hard. We were constantly doing something. So when we did have our time off, or when we did have our three-day weekends or our holidays or whatever, like, yeah, man, we're definitely gonna fucking cut loose, man. Like, work hard, play harder.
Yeah, I love the hell out of going over to anyone's house, really, just because it was different from the barracks, and that was always cool by me. Like, the barracks was a depressing place, not depressing, but just fucking.
Nah, it kind of was. It definitely kind of was. I mean, there's a handful of times probably where I was, we're drinking in the barracks and nobody's going out. And I just was like so fucking bored with it, man. And it could be, because I wanted to go out and hear, the music or, go hit on German chicks or whatever it was. But just sitting in the barracks, just kind of like, and drinking just kind of felt like the beginnings of being a drunk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't sit at home by myself and get shit faced. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that here either. But there it seems like, hey, what are you doing? It's time. We just got off work. Let's go ahead and head on over to Class 6 and grab all the alcohol.
Yeah.
Like,
No, and that's not to say like after close of business formation, we wouldn't go over to Class 6 and buy like a 6-pack or whatever each, and then go back to the barracks and drink there. But like that's pre-gaming to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Tuesday
your
night,
6-pack plus my 6-pack plus his 6-pack plus his 6-pack. We're gonna drink all those shits. We're gonna hop in the taxi. We're gonna stop, maybe grab a donor on the way to the whatever the hell. Get there and just drink even more. I guess that was more appropriate, but just drinking in the barracks, man. I feel you 100%. It was a little bit of a depressing situation.
Man, I'll tell you, and we're a little off topic, but there was one night, like we were drinking in the barracks, and it was me and Curtis and Walker when we were all living in a room together. So after Mike had moved out, and man, what was it? A Saturday night, I guess. Friday night or Saturday night. It was definitely a weekend night. And we were just drinking, and it got to the point where we were just like rowdy. You know what I mean? Like we flat out destroyed that barracks room. Like we had smashed bottles all over the place. I don't know if you remember that blue acoustic guitar.
Yes.
That I had. That's when that thing got destroyed.
I was kind of happy to see that get destroyed, because you would have set yourself on fire with that, and I'm like, he's gonna do it at some point. But continue.
No, man, like that barracks room was fucking trashed, dude. Like we were taking the trash can and like slamming it. Like it was completely full of bottles, and we would just pick it up and slam it on the ground as they start like stomping like glass bottles. I mean, like I'm telling you, like this room was fucked, like so bad that the next morning. Keith came in to get, I think, Walker and Kurt because they had to go do something with the Bradleys, and he was like, "What the fuck happened in here?" And we're like, we got a little carried away. He's like, "Y'all need to fucking dial this shit back." And you know how he was. He's very calm.
Always he's calm, like, folks. If you ever, let me for 1 second, the calmest dude you've ever met. I mean, I don't know if they had explosions away from us that we didn't see. Like maybe, I doubt he was like a different person, but the calmest person. I've never seen him angry. Only once. That was that day for some shit. Yeah.
No, man. He was all about keeping his cool, man. And yeah, he was mad. You know what I mean? But like in a calm way.
Yeah.
Like I remember that night though.
Disappointed father.
Yeah. Oh no, exactly. Yeah. That night though, man, like. We didn't have a lot of money between us, and that was another thing. That was part of the reason why we were drinking in the barracks, because you go to the bar, drinks cost a little bit more than just going to the Class 6 and buying a bunch. So we all decided, you know what, fuck it, man. Like the room is trashed. Fuck it, man. Let's go out. And so we went to an ATM, and the plan was we were going to figure out how much we could all take out, and then we were going to pool it together, right? And that's something else that you don't really see a lot in civilian world, man. Like like. You don't have money and I have money. Well, now we have money. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how it was. Because we all want to go out and have a good time. We want to make sure, our bros go out and have a good time with us.
Yeah. It's the only way it works. The only way it works.
Yeah. So we went to an ATM though. And like, we were like fired up over like just destroying that guitar and that fucking trash can and all these bottles and shit, man. And like these dudes are standing at the ATM and the whole time we're like, dude, we fucked that motherfucker up. Like being loud and shit. And it's like, oh, y'all fucked somebody up. And we're like, yeah. No, we fucked him up.
Shit, yeah, we did.
Hell yeah, we did.
We did it.
Yeah,
we did it.
Yeah, we committed that crime. Yeah. Not we didn't tell them that it was an acoustic guitar and a trash can, but it was still kind of funny to see the look in their face. But yeah, man. So that was drinking in the barracks was just okay, but like drinking at home. Now I'll tell you, like I remember there was one time in particular that we all went over to the Hiles place, or was it Peeps's place?
It depends on what side of the street it was on.
Well, I don't remember any of that, but I do remember it's the one that you and I have pictures from.
Okay, so that was Peep's place. I mean, they lived right across the street. Like literally, you can look out a Peep's window and wave at Hile.
Oh, okay.
So that particular day was at house, Peep's house. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I just remember kind of feeling a little awkward when we first got over there because I didn't really know, like, like Peeps and I like talked, but like we weren't like super super close. You know what I mean? And like, so I definitely kind of felt like I was like the friend of the friend in that scenario, but definitely ended up continuing drinking and then everybody got along and it was fine. But
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't really. You weren't really a person that was around that place a lot. That was just a different group of folks back then, I guess. Really, like maybe once or twice you went over there, yeah?
Yeah, maybe twice, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, man. So so you got to spend that first Thanksgiving and with your family, but you were where were you at Christmas? You hadn't made it yet to Germany, did you?
No. For Christmas, I was still at home. I was in basic for Thanksgiving, so I missed that. At home for Christmas, and I was in Germany by January.
Yeah. What did do you remember what they served on Thanksgiving in basic?
Oh, some turkey and some mashed potatoes and dressing and all that kind of shit. They had the full spread, but eat as much as you can before somebody comes up and starts screaming at you like an asshole.
Yeah. It's not always, but like it's still basic training.
Yeah, it's still basic. I mean, they might have the first sergeant up there serving food or something, but still, and change.
Yeah, no, I saw a picture of that 2 days ago. Actually, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was at Benning or Leonard Wood or where. I think it was at Leonard Wood actually. But the drill sergeants were behind the chow line serving the privates, and and there's like, you get a lot of pictures of that because that's something that people want to see. Like the John Q. public wants to see the drill sergeants, being like nice and polite to their soldiers. But then, and there's one picture of privates, just the one picture of privates sitting down eating. Yeah. And, it almost looks forced. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking smile for this picture.
I wouldn't call it forced. I would call it they're just terrified. They wouldn't have any other clue of what to do in this particular situation because, normally for Thanksgiving, my mom is feeding me food instead of drill sergeant fuckhead.
Yeah. So you were home for that Christmas and then off to Germany.
Off to Germany. And everything was weird from then on out until this very second.
Yeah. So just now.
Just now.
So that deployment to Kosovo, we didn't really miss a ton of holidays. We missed like 4th of July and my birthday.
What months were we in Kosovo again?
April to November, mid-April to mid-November, or early November.
Okay, so I remember Thanksgiving in Kosovo because Grigsby, not Grigsby, what was the fucking?
Yeah, Colonel Grigsby.
Yeah, Colonel Grigsby. From me and somebody else, and he's like laughing and joking. It was like really weird looking because we hadn't seen him laugh and joke. We always seen him like always intense as shit,
Yeah.
Fucking blue spader, fucking on my chest and all this kind of shit on my heart, balls and all this. But when it came down to, what we saw that day, it was just like this dude that was just like a dumbass like me and you having a conversation. And I remember they were eating turkey. I'm like, fucking, that's weird. Not what I would expect on a normal Thanksgiving.
So maybe it was late November when we left, because I know we left in November, and Thanksgiving is always like the last Thursday or some shit of November. So maybe we had like an early Thanksgiving thing on the deployment before we came home. Only thing I really remember about eating in Kosovo was the 24-hour sandwich bar,
which was beautiful.
Yeah, night or day, man. Because we had dumb shifts, dumb hours. Coming in off patrols at like 2:00 in the morning and just kind of fucking hungry, and 24-hour sandwich bar always there.
Yeah, always there. That was a good thing. That made me happy.
Yeah, but so that following that Christmas in 2002, that's generally when we got block leave, and I'll tell you what annoys me the most about that. So we're stationed in Germany. And it costs anywhere from $600 to like $1,000 to buy a round trip ticket back home. And so I do. And I'm at the time, in '02, I had just promoted to E4. So I'm making what, $2,200 a month.
Fuck
Right.
yeah. Hell yeah.
And,
Making it rain.
yeah. So now I gotta take one full paycheck and a little bit of another one to like buy a plane ticket home and fly all the way back. And we all do it, right? Like we all fly home, have all of our connections.
Mm-hmm.
Get home, and we're there for 2 weeks. 14 days, 13 days, whatever it came out to be, however much leave we had, and however much we were allowed to go.
Yep.
And then people are like, "Oh my God, you're in town? Come out and see me. Drive over here and see me."
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I live an hour away. Come up and see me." I was like, "I just flew from Germany. Like, you drive the hour and come see me."
Yeah. Like I got it. I got us here halfway. Like meet me halfway, bro. No, I never had that issue. Like I think I never really traveled past that. I mean, if I'm going home, I'm going home. I'm not going to visit anybody else. Like you can come see me. I am here. I am present. Like I don't feel like driving hours and hours. And maybe back then I maybe would have, but I seriously doubt I would have because again, I'm here. Come see me.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how it should be. And for folks listening, if you have a soldier who is a service member in the military, and they travel all their duty station to home, even if they're stationed within the states, make the effort and go see them. Like, don't make them come out and see you unless they absolutely want to.
Mm-hmm.
If you live on the other side of the state from where they are, drive your ass there. If you're not willing to do it, then I guess you don't get to see them. Because I mean, it's inconsiderate. It really is.
I mean, and I get like sometimes people don't have the money and the funds for that kind of shit. Like, but if I mean, how much is gas really? I mean, back then,
Cheap back then.
yeah, how much? It doesn't cost much to drive an hour, come
Yeah.
hang out for a minute. I mean, I'm fucking living in Germany for years. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I would have people be like, "Man, it really be good to see you on the holidays. You ought to come out." Or family that lives elsewhere. And I mean, no, I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. It's not a part of the plan.
Yeah, but so coming having the holidays back home and then going right back to Germany, like that was kind of the cool thing, right? Because like Christmas was always the 25th, and then New Year's was always the 1st, and there was always that like, I'm going to try and be back in Germany for New Year's because at the time I was I think I just turned 20 in '02, so I wasn't even allowed to drink back in the States. So like I definitely wanted to make sure that I was back in Germany for New Year's, even though leave generally extended all the way out to like the 3rd to the 5th of January, something like that. But
I feel like such a dumbass because at the same time, I'm like, I really need to be home for Christmas. So I'm gonna go and do that, and man, I could have been traveling all over the place as not a kid, but as a young adult, doing things on my own. So hats off to you for planning that out because I just did not. I was a big mama's boy.
No, I mean I definitely wanted to come home too, but like I don't know, man. I think about it though. You remember Ho?
Oh, young Ho, yeah.
Yep.
He has a kid now, Sorry to sidetrack you.
No, yeah, no, I saw the picture. That's actually what I saw his post on Facebook today, and that's what made me think of it. Is like we should talk to him because he spent all of his time off, like traveling Europe. He's from Korea. Moves to the States, joins the army, gets stationed in Germany. It didn't matter if it was like a 2-day weekend, 3-day weekend, or block leave. He was somewhere. Like there's not a exactly. He'd come walking in on Sunday, like fresh off the train from fucking Czech Republic. Yeah, that's what we should have been doing.
That's what we should have been doing. Yeah, exactly. That's so funny, dude. Like, I would think, like, man, he's just never around. He's always out there doing other shit, and then he show us these pictures, and I'm like, fucking Young Ho is out here doing it.
Yeah,
because that was his name, was Young Ho, and it was funny to me because I was immature.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, what an unfortunate name, but like, can't help it. But yeah, no, I mean, like he went to all these fucking places. I mean, you think we're stationed in Germany, man? Like, how long was our train ride to Paris, which is in like middle of France, like fucking 8 hours or some shit? You know what I mean? And that was a long way because there was a detour around the city because they were working on the tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when we flew to the Canary Islands, which are like off the coast of Morocco, you know, it was a 6-hour flight. You know, I think it takes me.
Oh shit, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 6 hours. It takes me about 6 hours to fly to fucking LA. You know, so I don't know, man. It's just we definitely. I mean, we traveled, right?
Yeah, we traveled, but not as much
like
as we could have.
Yeah, definitely not like he did.
Yeah, he fucking killed it. Hats off to Ho. Fucking killed it out there. And his kid and all that, man. Congratulations.
He didn't kill the kid. He had the kid. He created the kid.
The kid was created.
Yeah.
He helped put it together, literally.
Yeah. Build a bear. Build a kid.
Brick by brick and bone. So,
right.
Things continue on. Like, we get back to, what was it, 2003, really.
Yeah.
That whole crazy time. We always kind of talk about it with everyone we talk to, but we don't really get into it ourselves about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, you think about like, so after Kosovo, you know, I remember going to the PX and the members of the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, were set up there. They knew we had just got back, and they're like, "Hey, did you guys just get back from Kosovo? Because now you qualify to be members of the VFW." I'm like, "How does this make me a veteran?" I deployed to peacekeeping, and you know, we did it anyway. But you know, what made me think of that is like if we're talking about holidays, like Memorial Day and Veterans Day and all of those. Like those never even meant a thing to me. For years after this, even years after the year that we came home. I mean, I came home like basically right after Memorial Weekend, and you know, and I was home for Veterans Day, and I remember sitting in class for Veterans Day in 2005. Because I was in college, I was in my Comp 1 class, and my teacher was a very liberal teacher. But she says, you know, and today's Veterans Day, and so let's thank all of our veterans or whatever. I was the only one in the class, and she was like, "Can we have one here in the class with us?" And she said, "So thank you." And I was like, "You're welcome. Can you not draw attention to me, please?"
Wow,
you know what I mean?
That's how you felt about it?
I did, man, because I mean, I was still like figuring things out in my head. You know what I mean? And I've never been one to be like, you know, thank me for my service.
Yeah. Those guys are cool.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're one of those dudes, you royally suck.
Oh, yeah.
Royally suck.
Yeah. If you hear this and you do that, you lick penises.
Yeah. If you are listening and you're the veteran that goes like after this service, puts on your military uniform or something, and you go to the restaurant and you demand service because you're a veteran, and then you don't leave a tip,
asshole,
you're a cocksucker.
There you go.
Flat out. And not just a tip. I mean, because like generally, like 18 to 20% is customary, right?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
If you're getting a free meal,
exactly. Come on, man.
Tip them the price of the meal. Don't be a cheap asshole. I fucking hate people, man. That's, you know, honestly, like I would go out for Veterans Day just to do that. Just to be that guy that does that, right? Does the right thing just to show that, like, no, we don't all suck. But this is kind of turning more into a bitch fest and less about holidays.
I mean, it all ties together. We're staying. I mean, we're staying on point. I mean, this holiday.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, we're within the parameters.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the holiday spirit.
Yeah,
shit like this. I'm
gonna go. Spirit.
I'm gonna get some eggnog. Well, I can't drink no dairy right now, man.
Yeah.
I have a sinus infection, folks. If you can't hear, I sound a little different. That explains that.
Yeah, you sound like shit.
Yeah, I know. It's not COVID though. I'm good.
Yeah. It's not the new Omicron or whatever the fuck variant we're on that you can get over the phone.
Yeah, wait a minute. Speaking of Overtron, we have a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back on Before I Forget. Hey, folks. Tyree here. You ever have any issues with your never mind, fuck this. We'll do it a different time.
No, man. Let's go with it. Let's talk about we're talking about like the families, right? We're talking about holidays. We're talking about being around people that you don't want to be around. And do you know what you need? Do you know what you need to be around people
What do you need?
that you don't like, even if it is your family? You need alcohol.
Right?
Right?
What sort of alcohol? Delicious alcohol, cold alcohol?
It doesn't
Warm
even
alcohol?
matter. When you are around your family on the holidays, just pour you a glass of whatever is in front of you and chug it and enjoy the holidays the
Take
best
it to the
you
head.
can. Take it to the head.
Turn
it up.
Speaking of toke, all
Speaking of
my
toke.
non-military folks out there who don't have to worry about peeing in a cup, I want to introduce you guys to something called cannabis. Yes, folks, cannabis is a hell of a drug? No.
It's a hell of a thing.
It's a hell of a medicine that helps out people in a tremendous way. And I wholeheartedly think that if you have the facilities and the abilities to do this without getting your employer, toke up. I promise all this bullshit that's going on in the world right now won't even matter for a good hour and some change.
So today's episode is brought to you by alcohol
and marijuana.
Now back to the show.
Back to the show.
Oh my God.
Man.
If only we can get paid by alcohol and weed.
Oh my God. Sign us up, weed.
Yeah.
Just get marijuana.
Just imagine 0.0000001% of daily sales we would be billionaires overnight.
Oh my God. Anheuser-Busch hears this and they're like, hey, let's sponsor these dudes for this show of theirs. And they send just the smallest amount. It'll be awesome. I'll wear Anheuser-Busch shit all day.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Yeah. You gotta learn how to say. You can learn how to say it right.
Anheuser-Busch.
There's definitely no M in it.
Anheuser?
Yeah.
Whatever. My dad used to work there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Don't you have his work jacket?
Yeah, but don't say Anheuser-Busch on it. It says some other shit.
No, man.
I gotta go look at the jacket now. Now I gotta look.
It's AN
Budweiser
EUSER.
West Side Distributors. There you go. Back in the day. Anyway, back to the show.
Back to the show.
What is the biggest? I don't know. What would you say is the biggest the biggest drawback of not being around your family when you first start the whole military thing? Like you're really free for the first time. Are there any drawbacks to that you felt?
With holidays or in general?
With holidays, since we're going to stay on that topic.
The biggest drawback was, I would, in my opinion, or in my case, was having to listen to them boohoo about me not being around for the holidays.
Oh man.
So, and I gotta say this, man. Like, people were like, when you join the military, you're gonna get homesick when you're in basic training, and you're gonna be all sad and miss mom and dad. And I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Like, I love my family, but like, I never had that. Like, it wasn't a thing for me.
Mm.
I was on a new adventure in my life. I was starting another chapter in my life, and I was so focused on that. So I mean, it's not that I didn't want to be around my family on the holidays or in general, but I knew that I was on to something else, and I knew that I was going to see them. Well, we don't know, right? We don't know what tomorrow brings, but I knew that I had plans to see them. You know what I mean? So But that was honestly like probably like the biggest struggle of it is or like my mom, she didn't want me to join the army anyway. Like I've been in for 20 years now, and she still doesn't like that I'm still in because she's afraid that the next war could break out and they're going to call up everybody and their mother, not including her, and send us all off to war. But I mean, I think that's just that comes along with being a mom. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think my life at that point, I was so deep into just doing my own thing that I didn't even call them.
Yeah.
And they tell me like that really hurt them like bad because all this shit's going on in the world. Their boy just left to go to a different country, XYZ, and all this shit's going on. And it would be so easy for me to just pick up a phone and call. But I was just too busy trying to do me, being a dumbass kid. And
I mean,
I
it's
think they
definitely.
kind of. So go ahead.
I was going to say it's definitely. I see both sides of that coin though, because I mean, like you said, like 9/11 had just happened, and we're starting a new war, the new global war on terror. We're already in Afghanistan, and we're talking about going into Iraq and various other countries. And so, from the family's perspective, I totally get like being worried about their son, but at the same time, here you are, a young adult, trying to like make your way in life and figure out what is it that I am, like who am I? You know what I mean? So it's definitely from our perspective, it's a developmental stage where we want to kind of, it's kind of like back in the day, you know what I mean? Like way back in the day, where like the son, coming of age, becoming a man, right, and wants to go out into the woods and live on his own for a month or two to see if he can make it. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things.
Well, there's a rite of passage kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely get both sides of that coin, though. But I'll tell you what, man. I would hope that your family's not like heard about it now. I mean, there's no point in holding those grudges.
No. That was way back then. We talked about it. Like I promised to do a better job and stay in contact with them. But I was just saying, like that's how dumb I was back then. Like I didn't think about, not to say dumb, but that's just my mentality. Was I wasn't thinking about the folks I just left. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow, where I'm going to go party, where I'm going to go drink or whatever.
Yeah, it's a form of being selfish, and I think that the word selfish in itself has like a lot of negative connotations. But like Ayn Rand talks about in one of her points of philosophy is the virtue of selfishness, like the virtue of caring for oneself over somebody else. You know what I mean? The virtue of living your life on your terms. So I mean, like I said, it's definitely a two-sided scenario.
Yeah, man. So what about what part about having these new memories and new thoughts, sharing those kind of times with these new soldiers, these new guys you just met? What was the best part about that?
Man, it's kind of like okay, so how's the saying go? Like friends are the family that you choose, right? And in the military, that saying I think has a lot more meaning, right? Because of the closeness between soldiers and the bonds that we have, because of the trials and tribulations and the hard times that we have to go through.
Yeah,
and so being able to experience these scenarios, because I mean, in our company, we probably had 120, 140 people, right? But like we weren't friends with all 120 people. We had our select few of friends, like our select group. Yeah. And those are the people that we were really, really drawn to, and we get along, and we're on the same wavelength, so to speak. And so being able to go out and do these things, like that trip that you and I took to Berlin, is probably like, I don't know, like I think that one, more or less epitomizes kind of what you're asking, is like, because that was a new memory, right? And here you and I are from two very different backgrounds and upbringings and locations in the country, and we become really good friends, and then now we're going up to Berlin to like with this plan in mind. Like we went out and bought suits.
It's shit,
you know what I mean? We went out and bought fucking suits, and We had to get a pass to go up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so here you and I are, right? These two, dumbass young adults, all on our own in this in a city that's so large that it's also considered a state. Berlin is a city state.
Yeah.
And I know we brought Paige with us, but we'll not get into that.
We'll leave that at the door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But here you and I are, like, just young and dumb and and full of energy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complete the actual saying, but like just full of energy and like ready to go out and like just kind of like explore and do our thing. And so Tyree and I had this plan while we were in Berlin that we had these really nice suits that we bought, and
very nice suits, very nice. I mean, they weren't really nice; they were kind of cheap, but whatever.
Yeah, no, they were definitely cheap. I mean, balling on a budget.
Mm-hmm.
But in the low light situations of a lot of these clubs that we were going to, who can tell?
Yeah, as long as you don't touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't pull on it.
That little string there, don't worry about that. The whole sleeve will pop off. We're just gonna hold it together here.
Yep. But like the plan was we were gonna go out and we were gonna pick up chicks in Berlin at these clubs, and we were gonna tell them that we were club designers from Miami.
It's so stupid.
So stupid. Absolutely ridiculous story.
Yes, it was.
Because here I am, like from Miami, right? Southern Florida, where the sun always shines unless there's a hurricane, which is all the time too. But like, and here I am, pasty fucking white. Like, just like I definitely look like I've not been in the sun.
You look like you were from Germany.
Yeah. And but it worked,
Yeah. I mean, it didn't work for me.
Well, it
worked for you, did it? Did?
It did.
Oh, congratulations.
Right there on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, you interrupted.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, now you're sorry.
Well, what are you going to do?
18 years later.
18 years later. What are you
I was dancing with this girl, and things were going swell. And and we were out there just cutting the rug, slipping and sliding. And Tyree comes up and says, "Give me the key to the room. I'm going back." All mad.
Was I drunk? I was probably drunk.
I mean, you might have been drunk.
Yeah. I figured I was better off in the room than in public drunk. Yeah. At that point.
No, I remember telling that girl, though. I remember telling her, she's like, so what brings you to Germany? And then, told her the whole lie. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, but like, why Germany? And like, I just laid it on. I was like, listen, everybody on this planet knows that when it comes to nightclubs, Germany knows how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what did I even know about nightclubs anywhere else? Because I'd only been to nightclubs in Germany. You know what I mean?
Exactly. This dude's out here selling water to a well with these lies. And
yeah, man.
Come to Germany so I can experience the finer things.
Yeah, no shit, dude. But it's shit like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can't go out with any of my siblings and do that. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe like my older brother, we could probably pull it off, or even my younger brother, but like definitely my sisters. But it's just it's an interesting. So you talk about like, these group of friends that we have gravitated towards and become closer than everybody else in the unit, and then you're going off and you're doing just dumb shit like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
And like here we are, 18 years later, still talking about it, still laughing about it. And I don't know that we ever even told that. I don't know that I ever told that girl that.
I know. You probably didn't. You probably did at some point. You sent her a long text message.
I never got her number.
What?
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Well, that's on you. You can seal a deal, businessman.
Seal the deal, businessman. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sorry if German girl, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I don't remember how to say I'm sorry in German. Es tut mir leid, I guess. Es tut mir leid. I don't remember that much German. I have decided
Me,
though, like
nah.
I drive an hour to work now.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the mornings, I'm going to do my Rosetta Stone lessons and relearn German.
That's good, man. I'm not. I don't care. German, they can keep it. Man, I'm
No,
so sorry.
I just love the language, man. It's fun.
It's.
You never really learned it while you were there. Remember?
I
Okay.
didn't try. Well, you did the whole 2 week or whatever the hell course, and
Head Start.
then
Yeah.
you date some German girls, so you learn a little bit. But for me personally, like, I'm gonna sound like an idiot, and either you're gonna dig it or you're not, and you're probably not gonna understand what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna speak English, and hopefully you'll understand. And
Well,
that's a fucked up way to think back then, and that's how I thought, and that was terrible. I wish I had
I
learned
mean, for sure, man. And I think about that too. Like, oh, I must sound dumb when I speak this language. But then we think about like, we have a huge Hispanic population where I live, and
Mm-hmm.
when English is not their first language. I have friends that are that are English second language, and whenever they speak with a heavy accent. They don't feel embarrassed, right?
Yeah,
Because English isn't their first language, but they know the language. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
That's so dope. Like I'm so dumb when it comes to that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was so immature when it came down to like trying to learn the language of the place that I'm in. It's
Mm-hmm.
like what a jerk.
Yeah.
I can straight up admit that. Like I should have tried a little bit harder to learn German
Mm-hmm.
things. Like I explained before, I didn't really eat at a lot of German restaurants. They had McDonald's more than anything.
Yeah.
How much food did I miss out on? Like all good places to go visit because I was too busy being a dumbass.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. Now
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time where if you knew a little bit of German, you would have benefited. Do you remember that time at Tabasco's?
Explain.
This would have been pretty early on, I think. No, this is 2003. So I was back with, was I back with her? I dated this girl named Nadine, half Filipino, half German. And
Yeah, Nadine.
yeah.
I don't know
And
why I said that. Like I have no idea why I said it like that, but
yeah, no idea either.
neither here nor there. Don't worry about it.
I'm still somewhat in contact with her too. Like she lives back in Germany. She's a kid and all that stuff. But we follow each other on Instagram. That's how I really we talk on occasion. But anyway, we were sitting there in Tabasco's, and you came up to us and you said, "Hey, what does blossom mean?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I got you. Go ahead, tell the story.
Well, that's all I'm going to say of the story because I'm like, you just said you came up and said, "What does blossom mean?" And Nadine told you what it meant, and you were like, "Son of a bitch!"
Yeah.
and and then
now
yeah,
I know.
and now you know in case that ever comes back again.
I feel like we should probably tell that story completely. That's so we can't leave it so cliffhangery.
You don't think so?
No, I'll explain. So I was downtown in Germany, in Schweinfurt, Germany, and I was drunken, like all the way drunk. And I'm like stumbling my way back to the barracks, walking from Tabasco's, all the way drunk. And I sit down at the bus stop. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna wait here, wait on a taxi, and I'll be okay. Because I'm still new to this drinking thing, and the whole world was spinning, and it was all bad. So I just have a seat. This girl sits down, a really attractive German chick. Like, oh, trying to hold my shit together, not throw up on her. She's like, oh, speaking German, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yeah, sounds good. I don't know, sure, all right. And she's like, Blossom. I'm like, oh no, man, I'm full. I had enough. And no, thanks. I'm good. I think I even did the thing.
Yeah.
like if you had too much to drink and then somebody offers you another drink and then like you almost throw up a little bit in your mouth. That's what happened to me when she said Blossom, and I didn't understand that. And then I go back to the bar because I'm like, I just wait for you guys. and explain it. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had learned German. German.
So I just looked it up, right?
Yes.
Blasen, Blasen.
Yes.
And Blasen is the translation for blow.
Yes.
So
she could have been offering me cocaine.
I just realized that too. But from what Nadine said, it was an offering of something else.
Mouth sex.
Yeah, hot mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Or she could have been, because if you're sitting there drunk, looking like you're out of it, she might have been asking if you wanted to hit the slopes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't. Thank God I didn't know German. And good thing I kind of dipped up out of there.
I mean, maybe
She could have been trying to get me to
do drugs. She could have. Yeah, she could
do
have been
some
trying
lines
to
of
taint
coke. Do some lines of coke off the old bus bench.
Yeah, you say it like that's a saying somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it is. The old line of coke off the bus bench. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's line a coke off a hooker's ass, but whatever.
Whatever. I mean, whatever you got to do your coke off of.
For sure. I mean, nothing less than $100 bill.
That's broke, man. It was $1. It was fucking $5. It was Lincoln.
It's a
Lincoln
McDonald's straw.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, I was of the mindset that I'm going to be in Germany and I should learn their language. But I was already interested in German thanks to Rammstein being popular in the late '90s. So I already knew a bit of German when I got over there. So everything that we learned in Head Start, like how to say hello, how to say where is, how to introduce yourself, how to count the days of the week, the months of the year, all that stuff. Like I already knew how to say all that stuff.
You already knew that going over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, la-di-da.
Yeah, la-di-da. I did struggle with a few things. Like to say I want in German is ich möchte. And the O, the umlaut, the two dots over it, like I really struggled with that in class. And I remember we were out at the Rock Corner, or the one that's right next to the Rock Corner. And I asked the bartender, I said, hey, listen, so I'm in this class. I'm trying to learn your language. And the word is, how do I say I want? It's like, I want a beer. He's like, you say eins Bier bitte. I'm like, yeah, no. I understand like eins Bier bitte, but like, how do I say that I want a beer? And he, okay. So you say, ich möchte eins Bier bitte. And as he said it, like, I'm a little drunk and I'm like, ich or ich, depending on where you are in Germany. Mersta. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure I sound like some dumbass from Arkansas.
No, Mersta.
And he's like, oh yeah, genau. Mersta. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's it, Mersta? And he's like, yeah. So the next day I go back to class, and so I tell the teacher, I'm like, so I learned how to say your word in a bar last night, drunk.
Was it? Who was the teacher? Was it Frau Hest?
That sounds right.
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah, really. But yeah, I knew already. Like I knew. We learned what was it? I'm an American soldier in Germany. Do you remember to say that?
Nah. Let me think about it. I'll come back. Come back to me.
Come back to me. Circle back around.
Yeah,
it's your turn again.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
No,
I don't know the answer to this question, but I will find it out and I will get back to you later.
That's a good solid board answer.
Damn right.
Ich bin eine Amerikaner Soldat in Deutschland. Is it einer or eins? Einer?
I think it's Eine.
Yeah.
Eine soldier. Fuck it. Whatever, man. It sounds too aggressive. It's too
Soldat.
Too nuts. Too crazy for me.
Soldat. I always thought that was interesting because people would say like German is a very harsh language. Right, like, and you see the videos that on YouTube or circulate social media where they tell you like they talk about like a butterfly, in various languages, you know what I mean, and I can't remember how butterfly is said in all those languages, but then it gets to German and it just sounds so angry and shitty and not pretty at all. Like butterfly in German is Schmetterling, you know what I mean, like. And obviously, you can say it with force and be like Schmetterling,
Yeah, that's funny.
but it doesn't sound like. I remember this. One of the only pickup lines that I ever learned in Germany was "Du hast schöne Augen." Du hast schöne Augen, and it's you have beautiful eyes, but it's "Du hast schöne Augen." Like who? Like I don't know, man. It just doesn't have the same appeal as like something you would say in Spanish. I don't know how you say that in Spanish, but so but like you would talk to some Germans, and you would get that kind of aggressive sound out of it, but then you would talk to other Germans and it was just very dainty.
I think it's the dialect of the where you were raised for the most part, right? Like some folks from the east side sound different from fools from the west side in Germany.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. Like when we went to Berlin, saying instead of saying ish or ich, they would just say ich. It was harder on some of those on some of the pronunciations. But so I got told by some girls who lived down in Munich. They said that I had a very Bavarian accent when I spoke German because I said ich instead of ich.
Oh, I'm like, well, I learned this shit in Triver. What the fuck you want from me? You should be happy I'm learning.
Yeah, well, no, they weren't complaining, but like, I remember they were sitting there talking and like in German, the two of them, and we were waiting. I think we were waiting on Nate to come back because it was two chicks that he had met, and then I was the addition. But we were waiting for him to come back from the barracks for something, and they were sitting there talking back and forth about how their car had broke down and all this other stuff, and I was like, oh, dang, man, your car's broke down? That sucks, dude. And they're like, you understand German? And I'm like, I mean, I get the gist of it, Like when you learn a language, you know what I'm saying? You're picking up on like certain words, and then you can piece together the picture based off of like some key words. Like if I said, mein Auto ist kaputt, you'd be like, okay, I know what auto means. It sounds like auto, and I know what kaputt is. So car is broken down. So then you got to figure out like, well, you know how to say like, mine is mine, right? So you can just piece it all together and be like, oh, car's broken.
Yeah, all right, yay, you did it.
Like I got approached by a homeless guy, and he said, we were walking down the street, smoking and all sort of stuff, and he walks up to us and he says, "Haben Sie Feuer bitte?" And I'd never heard that sentence ever in my life, but I knew
and that means you have a lighter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See? Yeah, I know some shit. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. It's just all about being able to piece it together. So you think like even as adults, like whenever we learn a language, like we're learning it the way we did learn the way we learned English as a child, like bits and pieces of it at a time until we become fluent.
Definitely want to give a shout out to folks who speak other languages fluently because it's not easy. God damn, it's just hard stuff.
No, and that's one of my favorite things that people outside of America can say. One of the hates that they can have on us is like Americans think that we're so much better than everybody else, but we only know one language.
Yeah,
and it's true. You know what I mean? Like, we only know one language. Like we are so. I'm not anti-American. Y'all should know this, but like we get so caught up in ourselves that like we think everybody else should learn English wherever we go.
Yeah. We're the center of the universe, right?
Yeah, right. And it is very what is it, like ethnocentric, where we think that we are the center of things, and and that's not to say that when we were in Germany they didn't know English, but like we're in language.
Yeah.
I did get yelled at though. You remember when we got in that taxi cab in Berlin?
No, what happened with that?
Me, you, and Paige got into a cab. We told him where we wanted to go to. And the dude just fucking yelled at us, man. Just went off on us, man. Like I told him where we wanted to go in German. I felt comfortable enough with my German at the time to be able to like communicate like that. So I know what I said wasn't wrong. And this dude just like, I mean, he called us all assholes, stupid Americans, shit like that. So like we quickly bailed out of his cab and got in the one behind him.
I was gonna say we didn't stay in that taxi.
No,
thank God they keep our shit. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. But and I had some German friends, and they were like, when you go to places, like there are some places that want you to, learn the language, and then there are other places that just, would rather you not even try because they know you're not going to be there, or they think that you're making fun of them. So,
That was my thing, is I didn't want people to think I was making fun of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing this. I'm such, I'm so terrible at this. I don't want you to think I'm like fucking with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, continuing on with this.
Mm.
Well, no, we won't even go into Iraq stuff because we've been through there a million times already.
We didn't really talk about the holidays in Iraq, though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because when we did it, the holidays still happened, right? And we're at this time we're deployed to combat.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, I guess the only real holidays that would have been, the big family-oriented ones would be Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I was actually home for R&R on Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's good on you.
Yeah. But and like, I can't remember who mentioned it in a previous episode, but even when you're home, you're worried about everything going on back in Samara.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, you're home, but you feel guilty for being there because you're not back in the shit with the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't remember enjoying that Thanksgiving all that much, just because, I was too focused on getting back. And I think I ended up coming back like a few days after Thanksgiving. Actually, it would have been around this weekend when I went back to Germany or to Iraq.
Man, I was fucking terrified coming back because I thought that would be the last time that I saw my family. I was doing okay. I made it through, the majority of this fucking deployment. And now leave's going to come up, and now I got to come back to this shit. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That was the only time where I felt like a coward a little bit.
When did you go on leave?
I want to say it was just before Baton Rouge, so September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think you were home for my birthday.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I remember giving you shit about that. Like, you get to go home on my fucking birthday.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah. But that whole shit was like, that was my feelings about it. Like, if I'm lucky enough to go home and see my family this one time for these few weeks, and that'll be the end of it. I'm like, as soon as I land back in Iraq, Samara, the whole shit's just, I'm gonna get hit by a missile. Just me.
Yeah.
The second I hit the ground, because that's how things work out. But obviously it didn't. But the dumb shit that you think of when you miss family and shit like that, it's crazy.
I don't remember really having that thought process though, because I thought, by the time I got to go home for R&R, we'd already been through so much in Iraq that, I kind of had this like, it's definitely not a healthy mindset when you're in combat, but like an invincibility mindset. Like, like we'd already been through so much, and like we, had so few casualties, and, our platoon alone had, taken the brunt of all of it. We were there the entire time in Brassfield or in Samara.
Yeah.
So, I'm going back in my head. I'm like, okay, like I'm rejuvenated. I've been home. It's time to go back and fuck things up. I was ready to get back over there. Yeah.
No, in my head, man, it was I'm rejuvenated. It's gonna get cranked up to 10, and I'm gonna fucking get shot in the face immediately.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that Thanksgiving, it was still kind of the same thing though. Like I was talking about earlier, where like, yeah, instead of flying back from Germany, I'm flying back 9 time zones from Iraq, and I literally was just in combat. Like we were, I think we had some type of firefight like the week before. Baton Rouge kicked off October 1st, and then mid-November, a month and a half later, like I'm coming home for R&R.
Yeah.
And and we had small skirmishes here and there, and so I'm going home from that, or going from Iraq, with all that going on back home, and it's night and day, and I got to deal with people like hey, come out and see us. Why don't you? come on, man.
Yeah.
No. But
what did your family feel about you being back home during that time?
I mean,
I'm sure they're happy, but
Yeah.
at some point you have to leave again.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of talk of like, do you have to go back? What if you just didn't go back? Things like that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that was ever mentioned seriously, but I do remember, that coming up and like, no, I'm not a deserter. I'm not about that life. Like I'm going to go back and do my job because that's what I signed up for. Even if I did sign up before the war.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was definitely a lot of sad faces and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. I wasn't too worried about it though. Like I had it in my head that I knew that I was coming home, and and I did, obviously.
Yeah, obviously it worked out.
Yeah. But I remember that Christmas though.
I was just gonna say the Christmas at Uvani was different.
Yeah.
I know there's pictures from that floating around.
Yeah.
Not because anything weird happened. It was just people posing with shotguns and wearing Santa hats. And shit like that.
A small tree somewhere. I think Mike says he still has that tree.
Really?
That's what he said.
No shit.
Yeah. I think we were, with it being Christmas, right? And, depending on how you want to look at the global war on terror, is it a war against terrorism, or is it your religion versus my religion? Is it a war for weapons of mass destruction? Is it a war for oil or whatever the fuck, right? But we were definitely expecting, like even during Ramadan, we were expecting a lot of fighting and stuff. And I know that we kind of backed off during Ramadan a little bit, or I feel like we did, to kind of allow the people there to do their thing during their holidays. But I do remember, and there's a picture of it, shit being spray painted on things all over town, talking about like, we're going to get you on Christmas or ho 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 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember.
So I think we were expecting some bad shit to go down on Christmas, especially when, our major fight was Easter Sunday, and that could have been a coincidence, but maybe not. And various other holidays throughout, but because I know we had some stuff to go down on Mother's Day. I know we had stuff go down on Father's Day. I don't think that we had anything go down on July 4th. Nothing significant anyway, not where we were. But I think we were anticipating some stuff on Christmas. And I really don't remember anything on Christmas Day, the actual day, but
No.
maybe rockets or mortars, but nothing super, super crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything too nuts for those particular days, which is really weird, like you're saying, because we were like super on alert because every other holiday seemed like it was a spark point for something. Another thing that I wish I could talk to, how we're talking. I wonder if there's a person on the other side, the enemy side or the Iraqi side, two guys sitting there having a conversation about podcasts in their time. Like I wonder if they did that shit on purpose when they fucked with us on holidays, or was that just, like you said, just a coincidence? Because it seemed like every fucking holiday except, for whatever reason, Christmas and Thanksgiving, really, that shit didn't happen. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, that would be an interesting parallel, wouldn't it? Like if there's two guys in Samara or somewhere, they have a podcast, and it's called Before I Forget. Before we forget, but obviously in Arabic.
Let me reflect or some shit like this.
Yeah, as I recall.
Yeah,
that's
funny.
Pretty funny. Yeah, you remember when we used to fight those dudes on their holidays? Like, yeah, we were kind of dicks, man. Honestly,
that was a dick move, Ahmed. Nah,
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
that.
yeah. If you guys are listening, from Ahmed and Muhammad, we are sorry.
We're so sorry.
We're so sorry. To that I say, okay.
Yeah, sure. I got you. Don't worry about it. Everybody's now.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, we did it.
All right.
We got peace in the Middle East.
We did it. Yeah.
Now I remember for that Christmas though. I mean, I remember they brought out because you know how the army does, right? Like holidays are holidays, and they try and treat them special. So they brought us out a special meal. I think we had crab legs.
Shit, yeah. Nice little piece of steak too.
Yeah, you know that's the holidays, man. Crab legs and steak in the military, in deployments and stuff like crab legs and steak. That's the fix.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the Band-Aid.
Yeah, that's the Band-Aid on.
Oh, we didn't
having
give
to
you
be-
hot food for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Hot steak and some crabs, and then that's it. Never again.
And that's exactly. And that's really the thing, man. Because in 04, we were eating a lot of MREs, and I know we were buying things off the economy like bread and stuff. And obviously we had things mailed to us, but we were eating a lot of MREs. We very rarely had a lot of hot meals, especially out at Uvani, because they didn't want to bring log pack out, or for the longest time they couldn't get anything up the main supply route to Brassfield or anything north of there because of IEDs and all that stuff.
Too damn dangerous.
Yeah, so there was a period that we didn't get mail. We almost ran out of bottled water at our fob. We didn't get water, honestly, like for showering and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ever really talked about that, but like I tell people all the time, like, yeah, I think for that whole year I maybe had 40 showers, maybe, and that's including coming home on R&R. It's just we just didn't have the water to shower. You got really good at cleaning yourself with a 1 liter bottle of water, man. Like you hit the 4 essentials. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth. You know what I mean?
That's all you needed.
And just like George Carlin says, it's faster if you use the same brush.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah, it is.
But hey, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen on accident once or twice.
Yeah, right. I mean, as dirty as we were, like, what does it matter at that point? Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so we would rarely get hot meals. So, sometimes we would, sometimes we wouldn't, or we have MREs or whatever. We had a lot of ramen noodles. I remember making ramen noodles, putting the dry noodles in a water bottle with water in it and then miking it. The bottle would shrink in the microwave. And know what I know now about like how bad plastics are for you, and like you should absolutely never, ever microwave food in plastic containers or styrofoam containers. Ever, because it releases all of the carcinogenic materials that are in that plastic into your food, and then you just eat it down. But like, fuck, man, like I think that was the least of our concerns at the time. But we'll see the long term effects of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was just about to say, don't worry about that when we're going to go and burn shit and roll around in nuclear waste in a little bit. So fuck it.
Irradiated dirt and burning shit and explosions and bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Whoa,
the bottle in the microwave isn't a.
Yeah,
fucking...
that's too far.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you gonna serve me my food on a styrofoam plate?
You son of a bitch!
Do you know how unhealthy this is for you? It's smoking anywhere from 2 to 4 packs a day. Not an exaggeration either. Not an exaggeration. There were some days, man, where like I never didn't have a cigarette lit in my mouth.
Yeah, your clothes smell like it. Your pockets smell like it. You had like bits of tobacco in your pockets. You went through lighters like shit. Fucking. But I mean, all that was going on, and we still managed to have a somewhat, in my eyes, okay kind of Christmas with all of our guys at Uvani. I dug it. I cherish those moments and those pictures because I'm like, shit. I mean, we went through a lot of shit. Some of those dudes are no longer here with us anymore. But those memories we're going to have those forever, and that's never, ever, ever, ever going to go away. Yeah, and especially now since we got it on tape. Yeah.
No, and I will say, so it was we did have a little, like a 1.5 foot tall Christmas tree in one of the rooms. I think it sat on top of the microwave, right next to my bunk. And like you said, like people walked around in Santa hats, posing with shotguns and whatnot. Like like your typical soldier deployed picture. But or playing. We had the little. I know we had at Uvani, like somebody brought out a ping pong table.
Yeah, that was cool.
So we were playing. We would play ping pong, but that would get really boring because it's just slow and stupid. So instead, we'd play. What did I call it? Like pong bat or something like that, where you like trying to hit the ball as hard as you can at somebody.
Yeah, I remember that. Fucking up the balls so we can't use them anymore.
Yeah, like so many busted balls.
Fucking asshole.
Or playing chess. I know we had a chess set out there.
Mm-hmm.
But matter of fact, I think there's a picture somewhere of Keith playing chess with somebody.
Really?
Look and find it. Yeah. I have to look through my old pictures. I know I've got quite a few from that time frame. For whatever reason, for those of you that don't know what I look like, I'm a 6'2" white guy with dirty blonde hair. Right. Well, what's left
with
of it?
Some hair, with some dirty blonde
hair. It's receding and thinning, but back then I had more of it. I had most all of my hair. And I can grow a beard. It just takes a couple of months before it starts to look decent. But like my mustache comes in kind of blonde, right? Mm-hmm. The rest of my beard kind of comes in like a brown or a darker black or even like shades of red in places. But my mustache comes in almost completely blonde. And for whatever reason, during this time frame, I decided that I was going to grow that out. And even up close, you can barely see it. But in one of these pictures, I got to notice, and I was like, huh. There's kind of a mustache there. It looks fucking stupid.
You sure you just weren't dirty?
I mean, I was definitely dirty at the time, but I feel like there was hair there, and maybe that's why I can see the mustache in the picture because it was dirty.
I remember I tried to grow a mustache once, and Sargil was like, "That shit looks stupid." I'm like, "All right, you're all right. You won. Now fucking it's gone.
Get that shit off your face."
No, it wasn't. I don't think he said it looked stupid. I think it was like I cut it improperly, and I'm like, I couldn't trim it properly, so I'm like, fuck it, I just keep it off. Make things easier.
Yeah.
And now I have to shave all the time. Well, back when I was LAPD, which was very annoying when you have to shave every day because your face starts growing all of a sudden. Years and years of no facial growth, and then all of a sudden I'm a hairy man.
Yeah. I only have to shave once a month for drill, but if I had it my way, I would never shave my face again.
Same. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I'm actually going to not shave for a little bit and see how it works out. Just see.
Yeah, man, grow it out.
Yeah. I'll chronicle the progression on fucking our Facebook page.
I don't think anybody there wants to see that.
No one gives a shit. You're right. But, it's content.
There's only like 12 people that actually like
interact
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Of 900 people.
Mm-hmm. 905. Yeah.
5 people. Hey.
And we appreciate
we
the
sitting
fuck
here
out
laughing.
Of it.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I do. Yeah. I get frustrated sometimes. Like, hey, it's a lot of people in here. Nobody's saying anything. Which is really weird. I know we're way off subject now, but have you looked at some of the posts from other people from like shared pages on our stuff?
No.
It's very awkward. There's a lot of people from different countries who wish us luck in their own language and then
that's cool.
Steal our identities. Because I've already found a couple knockoff pages with our pictures on them.
Oh, really? On Facebook?
Cool. Yeah. I'll send you a link.
Huh. I mean, I get knockoffs like constantly on Instagram. Like there's one now, Scotty Johnson. I even called that dude out and person and I mean, I used to I would like report them, and be like, post it up on my Instagram story so people can report it too, and then whatever. But it's just gotten to the point where it's just what's the point?
Why though? What is the? Why do they do that? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't even know.
Make it make sense to me, because I mean, you motherfuckers out there who do this shit, like, what is the reason that you take somebody else's picture, change the name slightly, tweak it to make it your own, but it's still, I mean, what the fuck? It's the fakest shit ever. Like, why would you want to steal someone else's memories and stories and push them off as your own for likes.
Yep.
You're a fucking asshole. I hope you I hope you step on the nail, rusty nail.
It is really weird though. So like the most recent one, I think you saw it, right? I think you commented on it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
You know, had what 2 or 3 the main profile picture is me. I'm drinking coffee and I'm wearing my Modern Army Combatives Program T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But then the posted pictures are definitely not of me. I think one of them was my living room. I have a Betsy Ross flag hanging in my living room, and one of the posts was that, and then this really old man, like this big shaggy white beard, smoking a cigarette, and like, man, you know what I mean? Like, you're not even trying at this point, but like,
yeah,
it is really weird that like, why steal, you know, some of my photos and then not even do anything. They have a handful of followers, and I'm sure they're fake accounts as well. But
that just, too, man. There's so many fake accounts on everything. So many. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it really is interesting. I know for the longest, I would have people steal my stuff, and they were legit scamming people. Like, I spoke with one of them. Like, a girl contacted me and said that she was being scammed by somebody using my photos, and she gave me access to her account. And so I was able to talk to this person as her. So I was basically catfishing this person that was catfishing her as me. And I got to talking to him, and you know, I guess they just figured it out, or I ended up telling them, I was like, hey man, like, I know you're fake because the pictures that you're using are literally me. Like, I'm using this girl's account to talk to you. What the fuck is wrong with you? And the guy told me. So he was the story he was telling her was like, you know, it was like, I'm a deployed soldier somewhere in Africa. We don't have any power and we're not getting paid. And can you please send me like a $50 Amazon card or a PlayStation card?
What?
Yeah. I was like, well, first of all, if you don't have power, how are you on your phone?
Yeah. What the fuck are you asking for a PlayStation card for?
Yeah,
you
right.
got no power, no internet, motherfucker.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. And then so I told him, I was like, you need to delete this account and stop stealing my shit. And he was like, if you send me a $50 Amazon card, I'll delete the account. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. Scamming to the end. You know what I mean?
Always a hustle, man. Always a hustle.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can't really hate on it, but I mean, it's just annoying.
Yeah, you can hate on it. That's fucking lame, dude. I don't like that shit, period, man. I hate the fact that I could be talking to somebody who I think is a friend of mine on social media, and then all of a sudden, this shit happened to me just like last week, a friend of mine had her, like a childhood friend. She danced with my cousin, like dance recitals and shit like this. So, you know, I keep up with her, family friend. And I went on Facebook and she sent somebody posing as her sent the message like, hey, what's up, my dude? Come buy some of this. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't even talk like that. Like, this shit don't make any sense. This lady goes to church all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? What's up, my dude? Like, man, who the fuck is this really? And then I hit her up and I'm like, I think somebody hacked your stuff. And she's like, yeah, they hacked it and they're holding it for ransom. Like, how lame are you that you do things like that? Like, how lame is your life that you have to steal ours?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. But I guess what I'm saying is like, obviously, like when it comes to like having a presence on social media, you want to, you know, keep in mind operational security, right? So don't put out a lot of like personal identifying information. And you want to keep in mind, like, you know, cybersecurity, right? So change your passwords often and make them completely random shit. And then if you need to post pictures of, you know, of your face or whatever, like watermark them somehow, like, you know, put it in your story first, type in your username, you know, overlay it on the photo and then post that, you know, so that, you know, if that photo is used somewhere, then, you know, people can trace it back to the original account.
Yeah. But why the fuck do I got to do this shit at this point in life?
No, I know. I know, man. And that's just what it is, man. I mean, if there's a new thing introduced, there's going to be a way to exploit it or, you know, scam on it. Okay. But if you're one of those people, and I've been contacted by quite a few folks in various countries, to include our own, but like in various countries that got scammed by people. And, you know, like one lady from Brazil told me that she was ready.
Dude, Brazil.
Yeah, no lie. She told me
you got that face they like. It's an international face. They scan through and they're like, I like that one. I'm gonna be Kevin John Stone.
Yeah, right. No, she told me that like she had her plane ticket bought, and she's waiting on the final word from me, or quote unquote me, but she was leaving her husband and kids.
Wow.
Yeah. To come to the U.S. She had her visa and everything to come to the U.S. and do a 90-day fiance kind of situation. And I told her, like, first of all, ma'am, that person is not me. I am me. And I can assure you that I do not want you to come to America to do the 90-day fiance. That's just not a thing. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Secondly, you were ready to leave your husband and kids. You're just as shitty as this fucking scammer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, there's a parallel here.
Yeah, you definitely brought that karma on, man. Like, now you need to, because apparently she had already told like the husband that, like, hey, I'm rolling out with this with this dude. Now she got to turn around and face the music, and and obviously, like, with all the scams and shit that go on social media, like, you have to kind of wonder, was that person even telling the truth? Were they really a scammer? Were they working their way to trying to get something from me?
Hey, man, you never know. You never know. Mm-hmm. That's nuts, dude. Mm-hmm. I can. First of all, I guess it don't happen to me. Kevin, you're an attractive dude. You're a white guy.
Oh, shucks.
Shit works out for you. I won't say that. You have a face that is marketable for folks, I guess. I don't know. Fucking every time I look at your Instagram, I'm like, God damn, like he has a face that works for folks. And then there's like a lot of likes, and I'm like, that's cool. And then, but I know the flip side of that is there's some weirdo out there looking at these same pictures like, yeah, this guy is real handsome. I'm gonna steal his whole identity and his whole shit.
Yeah.
And
well, I can right now, and let's say the picture of you and I, matter of fact, the picture of you and I that I posted, right, when we in Germany, it's got 286 likes on it, and it's been saved 7 times.
Yeah, who does that? Why?
By who?
Yeah,
exactly. By who? Who is saving that? You know what I'm saying?
Somebody in Brazil.
If you scroll further down, right, a picture that I posted on September 12th has 381 likes on it, and it has been saved 13 times, and it's a picture from the ODA house.
Oh, the one where you're sweaty.
Well, the one where I look dirty and shit. Dirty as shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's been saved 13 times. It's been sent to somebody twice. The one of me and you has been sent to somebody twice as well.
Man, you got a stalker, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's why? Like, the matter of fact, the picture of me and my niece on we had a joint birthday celebration thing. It's been saved once. By who?
Christopher Johnson from the Congo is using your information right now.
Yeah.
And he's celebrating family pictures with his fake ass fucking.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating, man. I hate it so much. I wish I could sit down and talk to these people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like, it's a really interesting place. But what's even crazier is, like, some of the pictures that I would expect to be saved by some of these people, or like some of the, more sexually frustrated people on my following list, because those people exist too. If you're one of them, I'm sorry for calling you out like that, but like, call it what you want. Like, there's a picture of me laying in bed with my Chihuahua, right? And he's just laying on my shoulder, and I'm not wearing a shirt, so it's full on man nipple, right?
Yeah, I hear being the thirst trap for these bitches.
Yeah. Well, you got to the hustle never ends, right? It's not been saved. It's not been saved one time.
Wow.
So I'm a little offended by that, honestly, right? Right?
Because they want that good sentimental stuff, man.
That is good sentimental stuff. I'm laying in bed with my tiny Chihuahua who has diabetes and is missing an eye and a gallbladder and testicles.
Well, you know the minutia of it all when it comes down to that picture. They don't know. They just see this guy in the bed and they're like, I don't want that picture. I want the one of him hugging his mother.
Yeah.
Psychos.
No, it's just really interesting though. Like, the things that people will save on social media. And reuse.
Social media is a weird ass place, man.
Yeah, it is, man.
Every now and then I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't even have it. But I like to keep up with folks. So it's like, I don't think we would be able to have this show if we didn't have social media, which is, double-edged sword. Like, yeah, I hate it, but it's hard to not function without it at this point.
No, I mean, it really is, man. I mean, a friend of mine, she talks about, she's pretty anti-social media and stuff, and she does pretty good about not having a presence on there. I mean, she does for work, but that's it, And her son, she's got him in school, and she likes learning the old way, where a teacher sits down with a book and a lesson plan, and they have things up on the wall and a projector. How we learned. Mm-hmm. But now, the school is telling her, has issued him, her son, what is it, like a school laptop that he gets to take home every day, and he has to do all of his work on there. And she's pretty against it, but. And I get it, I do. I get it. Like, it's kind of hard because when you have such an online presence, like all of these companies are collecting all this data on you, all this information. Mm-hmm. And they're building this virtual version of you. And that's why, like, you can scroll through your Instagram and see, that kind of ads that you see, right? Like, I can Google one time, rubberized plate weights, and that's all I'll see on my fucking timelines. All these different companies selling that stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really is a double-edged sword, though, because at the same time, you kind of need access to the interwebs to do anything. All of the entertainment is online. I mean, yeah, you can sit down and read a book, but I get bored easily doing that.
Yeah. I find myself swiping through shit mindlessly on Facebook every now and then. And I'm like, why don't I just stop this and go do something? Go play with my son, for fuck's sake. Stop being a loser.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah.
I mean, I said that wrong. I'm not saying that people who sit on social media all day, they're losers, because there's people who make a ton of money doing it. And we're in it. Yeah. We have a little spot on the internet that we call our own. Yeah. And double-edged sword. You can't live with it, can't live without it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's the gist of it. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
Whack.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
it is what it is. So let's get back to our thing, so we can kind of close this out a little bit. What has the holidays been for you, or how have holidays been for you after Germany, after everything's all done? You're back here.
Man, they were weird at first, you know what I mean? Because you're still adjusting to things and all of that, but you definitely have more of an appreciation for family and all those things. Like now, what I'm saying, like, especially on my mom's side, like my stepdad just passed away, so this was like the first major holiday without him. And at first my mom wasn't going to do it, but we got together anyway. Like my mom and my sister, my brother and their kids, and one of my sister's kids, his kid, which is kind of crazy to think about. But so like getting together and doing that stuff, like I do love seeing them. Like my oldest brother, Scott, like we didn't grow up together, right? Like he had a different dad, and then I grew up with my dad. So holidays now is a time for us to really get together, because we have our lives, like our work lives. We live in two different places and our schedules are very different. So it's definitely a great opportunity for everybody to get together and to see him and to catch up. And, we've been doing a lot more of that over the last few years, and being able to see his daughters and beat them up for the holidays. Well, really, it's my sister's daughter that I beat up on. She beats up on me, though. But that's kind of what it becomes about. You know what I'm saying? Like, having that time with your family. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those other holidays were like, that are meant to be family get-togethers, family gatherings. it's easier on those holidays because likely you're not working or whatever, unless you find yourself in like a blue collar type job and they require those days, which is the thing, man. And good on you, because working through the holidays when you have a family is hard.
Yeah.
But that's just the time that we're able to do that. But that's not to say that we don't try outside of that. But yeah, I would say like the holidays after the military and after deployment and stuff, it definitely has a bit more of a new meaning, and it's less of a complaint now to have to go from my mom's house to my dad's house, on the holidays or whatever. Because I know that, I mean, they're not going to get together for the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been split for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
But so now it's like, well, yeah, I'll figure out how to see them on these days, because it means more now. And that's kind of how it is when you face any kind of thing, like a near death experience or combat or something like that. Like, all of these things have deeper meaning. Like, you appreciate them more after the fact,
Definitely. I think for me, coming back to my family and the way that things only changed because really people passed away. My great grandma passed away. My grandma passed away. My dad passed away. Uncles, my cousins like my brother passed away. So everything kind of shifts over to, we still have to have some kind of family, something.
Yeah.
And it gets a little tough on me because, I have my family here, and it's a lame excuse to why I can't hop in the car and drive and see them. But sometimes I want to try to make these memories for my kid, with me and him, or me, him, and Sil.
Yeah.
But I still want them to have those kind of, that familiarity with my family, like I had. Like, I want them to be able to go to grandma's house, which is now like his grandma's house, my mom's house, for Christmas, and open presents. And it's weird now because dad's not there, but
yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, and like I said, it definitely gives you a greater appreciation. But yeah, that's the thing, man. Is like, I fully get, like, now that like, if I was married and had kids and all that stuff, then yeah, I would want to have our family Christmas or whatever, right? But you just talked about, like, going to family gatherings and your great grandma's there. Like, my family, like, we always wait too long to be able to have, when we have kids, like, to even know these people, right? So I never even knew my great grandparents. Like, my grandpa Johnson died like 4 or 5 years before I was even born, and my grandma Johnson, I was maybe 25 at the time when she passed. But so, I mean, I knew her, and I knew my stepmom's grandparents, and I knew my mom's grandparents, but like, I never knew any of the great ones. So you talk about, like, with your son, like, yeah, you want to have like the family holiday, with just you guys. But I think it's important to definitely, like, get the whole family together and have a big thing out of it. Because, I mean, there's a lot of culture there. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of stories there that he's just not going to hear, from your mouth, right? Like, because it really does take getting together, and, like, you and your siblings, or like you and your mom, like your mom telling a story about her, his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when Tyree was your age, blah 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 blah. And those are stories, like, straight from the source. You know what I mean? As opposed to, like, your version of it. It's their version of it. And again, like, just having that interaction. And you think about, like, with the way things are going in our country today, with all this division and just all this fucking bullshit, man. It's just people just being so mad at everybody for the smallest of things, like families splitting over political beliefs and whatever else. It's just it's insane to me. And so you take events like this, and that's where you learn that family isn't about, like, which side of the aisle do you lie on, or how do you feel about this one thing or this other thing. There's no reason that shit that's well outside of your control should have any bearing on what happens within your family. Instead, these gatherings need to be about like remembering times when when you were younger, or kind of like what we're doing now with this podcast, where we're talking about like things that we don't want to forget.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a way to pass down those stories. I mean, that's as a species, as humans, that's how we've always been, right? Like stories have always been handed down through stories by telling them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I think that's just a continuation of that. And so yeah, I mean, like I think like when it comes to Christmas, man, like yeah, it's cool to like he wakes up and he pops out and sees the tree and it's all lit up and shit, and there's like wrapped presents and all that stuff. It's got his name on there, and he's like, oh shit, I've been waiting for this thing, and opens it up and it's actually a pair of socks, and so he feels that disappointment. But then he goes over to grandma's house and that thing that he's always wanted, bam, it's in that box too, but it's also with a pair of socks. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the pairs, you know what I mean? Like, but like it's shit like that though, you know what I mean? Like I think that's that's just. I don't know. I think if I grew up with the holidays like that, then I would care more about the holidays.
Yeah, well, that's how I grew up with it. It's just for me, it's just harder because there's so many people not there now.
Yeah,
and it's fucking painful, dude. Fucking, I don't like. It sucks having conversations, not having conversations, but thinking about my pops like that, and thinking about my cousin, fucking thinking about Billy Jack, because I have memories of him on holidays, Messer, fucking all that kind of shit. It bothers me.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I have a different view on that kind of stuff, because as soon as I got to my mom's house, they were all waiting on me as usual, because I don't understand the definition of punctuality. And
no shit.
and my mom, I mean, she's already sad about things. She breaks down when I come in, and she has to excuse herself and everything. And when my sister-in-law says the prayer, and I'm not a religious person, so the prayers and all that stuff, it's not really a thing for me. But she's breaking down, talking about like the people that have been that we've lost and all this other stuff. And I just, don't get me wrong, man. I am sad that people are gone out of our lives, right? But that kind of, I mean that's it. That's how we're going to be in that same boat, right? We're eventually going to be out of other people's lives. I mean, that's just the life cycle. But so I don't know. My thoughts are, I'm just glad that I got to have those memories with those people, and it's gatherings like this. Like for example, my sister's son, his daughter, who was just, I think she's like a couple weeks old now, in 10, 15 years from now, she's going to be coming to these same family gatherings. We're going to be telling all these stories. And she's named after my stepdad, right? His name was Dell. So her middle name is Dell, Emery Dell. And so she's going to be hearing all these stories about how great of a man he was. And that's how he should be remembered. That's how all these people should be remembered. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we should be getting together and like, oh, I remember when Dell did this, or, like, oh, one of his things that he always used to do. And that's just, I don't know, man. I think it's do you read a lot of Dr. Seuss? I mean, I don't mean like the kids' books, but like, I mean, he's a pretty deep thinker, man. Borderline philosopher, if you ask me. But he has this one quote that I really, really liked. And it says, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah.
Right. When you talk about these like happy moments, right? Like, oh man, it sucks that it's at the end. But yeah, man, like those are great memories that you have formed, and great bonds with those people that you were there with, that you have formed. Like talking about Berlin, or like Christmas in Iraq, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, or, previous holidays with all of our family members that, are now gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we can be sad that they're gone, but we're not doing them any justice. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're right about that, man.
You got to remember them and be happy that you of all the people throughout, human history, you were one of the few that got to experience that person.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
I love that. That's good, man.
That's my thoughts on death.
Shit got emotional in the end with the show. gonna have to start shutting this thing down because we're almost done.
Yeah.
Some quick show notes. We're gonna have some really good people coming up. We're gonna continue to make the show the best way we know how. Please continue to like, listen, subscribe, share it. You know, we tell these stories. Sometimes they're painful, sometimes they're funny, but we tell these stories because we want you to hear it. We want to not forget about things.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that. Thank you for listening. I'm not shutting it down. I'm not bad. Go ahead.
I want to say, like, and I hope people that are listening, whenever they hear these stories, that it makes them think about, like, you know, it makes you guys think about, like, you know, yourself in the same, you know, situation, in the same shoes that we're in or have been in or whatever. You know, it is coming up on the holidays and you get depressed because, you know, people aren't there and you don't want to be involved in it. Well, there are still people that are here who still want to be involved in it. And it's important to continue those traditions and to tell those stories. You know, yes, it's fine to be sad, but on the holidays, it's absolutely important to get together and keep the memory of these people alive and well and continuing on through the generations. So just keep that in mind, these upcoming holidays. And again, you know, if you still can't handle the holidays because you can't handle your family, refer back to our sponsors and
alcohol and marijuana.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
one.
man, to everybody listening, happy holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, fucking whatever, Hanukkah.
Whatever you fucking celebrate. We didn't even get into other people who don't even. Oh man, we could have got so deep into people who aren't deeply religious or aren't Christians going to Iraq or going to Germany and dealing with those kind of holidays. We didn't even hit that up. Hopefully, we'll hit some of that up with some of the guests we have on in the future. Yeah. So, on that note, thank you for listening to Before I Forget. Once again, like, listen, share, subscribe, and I think we will see you guys on Thursday with a new show.
Yep.
All right. See you later.
Later.